Welcome back to Herb Park Pool in Appleton, Wisconsin. This is the 26th Bird Bath Invitational. I'm Mike Mataloni with the live stream crew here with Tomas and Brad and the boys, and we will be bringing you all the action here for our Saturday afternoon session, the third session of the day, the second day of the 26th Bird Bath Invitational. Warm-ups are just, we'll be wrapping up soon, and we'll be tentatively starting around 3 o'clock. We were a few minutes behind schedule from the end of the second session, so we'll see exactly what time. I'll be getting my heat sheet shortly, and we'll be starting out the meet ideally sometime around or after 3 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. And we'll be seeing some parades of teams going around with their spirit gear. Today is Zany Prom. Tomas, how was your prom? Did you have a prom?
I had a prom.
Yeah, how was it?
It was interesting.
I think mine was too, yes. Oh wait, we got the wave is going around with their. Let's switch over here to the north end camera. Okay, we'll see the procession here of the team. Zany Prom. You got some interesting outfits there. Some look a little hazardous. Of course, the coaches got some interesting outfits on as well. So that's the Fox Valley Wave swim team. And yeah, we're going to let the warm-ups finish, and we'll be back.
This swim meet is proudly hosted and presented by the Fox Cities YMCA Swim Team Orcas, the YMCA of the Fox Cities, the City of Appleton, and Caraco Aquatics Resources.
Now we ask you to please rise if you are able, remove your hats, and direct your attention to our nation's flag high atop the water slide as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Performing the anthem for us this afternoon is FCY Orca Therese Mariano on the flute. Fantastic job.
According to, here's our safe sport announcement. To comply with USA Swimming Safe Sport Guide.
Beautiful rendition of our national anthem, and there's our flag high atop the water slide. We will be starting here shortly with event 39, the girls 13 and over 400-meter medley relay. Stay tuned. Our officials are doing some tests out on the pool deck. And hopefully we'll have everything working here shortly. The officials are checking out the starter. And it looks like we got everything working here. Yep, the starter kicked into gear, so. In the water is Event 39, Heat 1. This is the start of the Saturday afternoon session with the girls 13 and over 400-meter medley relay. In lane 3 is the Wanakee B team of Sedona, Lily, Maddie, and Ava. In lane 4 is the Fox Cities D team of Masden, Ivy, Nora, and Riley. In lane 5 is the Wave F team of Alice, Morgan, Daphne, and Maris. These are your Heat 1 athletes in the girls 13 and over 400-meter medley relay. Up next is Heat 2 for a total of 5 heats for Event 39. And our unofficial heat winner is in lane 5. That's the Wave F team with Alice, Morgan, Daphne, and Maris. Alice, you made your dad proud. Heat 2 is next. In the water is event 39, heat 2. This is the girls, and actually we're going to be saying 13 and over. Most everything here is going to be 13 and over, but the girls 13 and over 400-meter medley relay. This is heat 2. In lane 1 is the Howard Swamico D team of Adeline, Carly, Megan, and Kira. In lane 2 is the Fox Cities C team of Claire, Evie, Morgan, and Avery. In lane 3 is the Wave E team of Marilyn, Emily, Ellen, and Claire. In lane 4 is the McFarland B team of Leilani, Ava, Sophia, and Genevieve. In lane 5 is the Howard Swamico C team of Addie, Julia, Hayden, and Bailey. In lane 6 is the Chippewa Valley B team of Kira, Delaney, Kiana, and Aya. And in lane 7 is the Tosa B team of Avery, Lydia, Lila, and Lanai. Those are your Heat 2 athletes in the girls 13 and over 400-meter medley relay. Up next is Heat 3. unofficial heat winner was in lane 5. That's a Howard Swamico C team of Addie, Julia, Hayden, and Bailey. And now in the water is event 39, heat 3. This is the girls 13 and over 400-meter medley relay. In lane 1 is a Northern Lakes B team of Aubrey, Sophie, Abby, and Emily. Lane 2 is a scratch. Lane 3 is a Fox Cities B team of Jossie, Isabella, Avery, and Allie. In lane 4 is a Green Bay A team, and I don't have the breakdown of them, so I apologize for that. I do not have the Green Bay A team breakdown. I don't know if it's on this other. No, I do not have that, so I apologize for that. And the lane 5 is the Wave D team of Charlotte, Kirsten, Daphne, and Susanna. And lane 6 is the Wanakee A team of Lucy, Molly, Macy, and Clara. And lane 7 is the Ashwaubenon A team of Kayla, Evie, Ainsley, and Natalie. Those are your 3 athletes in the girls 13 and over 400-meter medley relay. Up next is heat 4, and there's a total of 5 heats for event number 39. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 5. That's a Wave D team of Charlotte, Kirsten, Daphne, and Susanna. Up next is heat 4. In the water is event 39, heat 4. This is the girls 13 and over 400 meter medley relay. In lane 1 is the McFarland A team of Lil, Casey, Olivia, and Audrey. In lane 2 is the DeForest A team of Bristol, Avery, Emma, and Brenna. In lane 3 is the Chippewa Valley A team of Linda, Aubrey, Lucy, and Elin. In lane 4 is the Howard Swamico B team of Lillian, Abby, Layla, and Lauren. In lane 5 is the Fox Cities A team of Lainey, Addie, Autumn, and Brooklyn. In lane 5 is, that's lane 5. Lane 6 is the Rocket C team of Liliana, Addie, Paige, and Jana. In lane 7 is the Storm A team of Claire, Maddie, Stella, and Annika. And in lane 8 is the Tosa A team of Ella, Kaya, Elena, and Eliana. Those are your Heat 4 athletes. Up next is Heat 5, the final heat of Event 39, the 13 and over 400 meter medley relay. We have a slight cloud cover here over Herb Park Pool, which has cooled things off a little bit, but the sun keeps poking out. But it's the weather's holding out. There's a chance of maybe rain later on this afternoon, but for now, I think things are looking good. I'm not going to look at the radar like I did yesterday. We were getting all kinds of different mixed signals, and we're just going to focus on the positive here. And our unofficial heat winner is in lane 3. That's a Chippewa Valley A team of Linda, Aubrey, Lucy, and Elin. Heat 5 is next. In the water is event 39, heat 5. This is the final heat of the girls 13 and over 400-meter medley relay. In lane 1 is the Rocket B team of Greta, Peyton, Celia, and Maggie. In lane 2 is the Wave B team of Addison, Sydney, Lauren, and Aaron. In lane 3 is the Northern Lakes A team of Emma, Kaylin, Riley, and Darren. In lane 4 is the Rocket A team of Lily, Maddie, and Kinsley. In lane 5 is the Wave A team of Anna, Maddie, Elise, and Afton. In lane 6 is the Howard Swamico A team of Kaylee, Sophia, Violet, and Vivian. In lane 7 is the Woodson A team of Brooklyn, Abby, Anna, and Grace. And in lane 8 is the Wave C team of Sydney, Gabby, Elizabeth, and Sophia. Those are your Heat 5 athletes in the girls 13 and over 400-meter medley relay. Up next is event 40, the boys 13 and over 400-meter medley relay. And there are 2 heats in event number 40. Want to send a shout out to the Josephson clan who are watching, I believe, in the great state of Minnesota. That's where, yes, they're tucked in, nestled away there. They pretty much cover the entire state, I believe. There's just so many of them. They're watching their niece slash cousin slash granddaughter, Sydney, out here swimming. And I just want to send a special hello to them. They're great people and also great supporter of sports. See them out here in the Fox Valley a lot, and we get to see them when we travel out to Minnesota. So special shout out to them. Hope your day is as sunny as we have here in Herb Park Pool, and hopefully you're hitting the links pretty well as well. So. And yes, I was prompted to say that from a certain member of the clan that's here, watching a little more close up than you are. But hopefully, the live stream is a good second option. And our unofficial heat winner is in lane 5. That is the Wave A team of Anna, Maddie, Elise, and Afton. Then 40 heat 1 is next. In the water is event 40, heat 1. This is the boys, 13 and over, 400-meter medley relay. In lane 1 is the Rocket A team of Ritik, Nathan, Nolan, and Jackson. Lane 2 is the Wave D team of Edwin, Kellen, Joel, and Smith. Lane 3 is the Tosa A team of Bryce, Tristan, Dragomir, and Jack. Lane 4 is the McFarland D team of Quincy, Sterling, Michael, and Wyatt. Lane 5 is the Wave C team of Ethan, Evan, Mats, and Noah. And lane 6 is the Fox Cities B team of Caleb, Josiah, Elwin, and Pat. And in lane 7 is the Chippewa Valley A team of Cash, Eric, Jacob, and Blake. Those are your Heat 1 athletes in the boys 13 and over 400-meter medley relay. Up next is Heat 2. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 7. That's the Chippewa Valley A team of Cash, Eric, Jacob, and Blake. Up next is heat 2. In the water is event 40, heat 2. This is the boys 13 and over 400 meter medley relay. In lane 1 is the Fox Cities A team of Jack, Burke, Ryan, and Dominic. In lane 2 is Howard Swamico B team of Sam, Park Seat, Andy, and Raiden. In lane 3 is the McFarland B team of Nick, Caleb, Shane, and Jackson. In lane 4 is the McFarland A team of Blake, Jude, Kale, and Lion. In lane 5 is the Howard Swamico A team of Will, Griffin, Bennett, and Carter. In lane 6 is the Wave A team of Aiden, Cash, Spencer, and Logan. The lane 7 is the Wave B team of Bryce, Jason, Ethan, and Gideon. And in lane 8 is the McFarland C team of Hans, Isaac, Ben, and Ori. Those are your Heat 2 athletes in the boys 13 and over 400 meter medley relay. Up next is event 41, the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. There are 18 heats in event number 41. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 4. That is the McFarland A team of Blake, Jude, Kale, and Lyon. Event 41, heat 1 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 1. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 3 is Charlotte from Tosa. Lane 4 is Elena from Schrader. And in lane 5 is Morgan from the Wave. Those are your heat 1 athletes. Up next is heat 2 of the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. There are a total of 18 heats in event 41. Unofficial heat winner is in lane 4. That is Elena from Schrader. Heat 2 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 2. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Gabriella in lane 1. Lane 2 is Harper in lane one is Gabriella from Green Bay Y. Lane 2 is Harper from Schrader. Lane 3 is Kayla from Watertown. Lane 4 is Ava from Wanakee. Lane 5 is Kylie from Schrader. Lane 6 is Madeline from Tosa. And in lane 7 is Sarah from Schrader. Those are your Heat 2 athletes. Up next is Heat 3. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 5. That is Kylie from Schrader. Heat 3 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 3. This is the girls 13 and over 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Elisa from Fox Cities. In lane 2 is Gianna from McFarland. Lane 3 is Paige from DeForest. Lane 4 is Ivy from Fox Cities. Lane 5 is Therese from Fox Cities. Lane 6 is Harper from Tosa. Lane 7 is Nora from Rocket. And lane 8 is Amelia from Watertown. Those are your Heat 3 athletes. Up next is Heat 4. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 3. That's Paige from DeForest. Heat 4 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 4. This is the girls 13 and over 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Sedona from Wanakee. Lane 2 is Eddie from DeForest. Lane 3 is Kirsten from Green Bay Y. Lane 4 is Alexis from Fox Cities. Lane 5 is Lucia from DeForest. Lane 6 is Elena from The Wave. Lane 7 is Elena from Watertown. And in lane 8 is Leah from the Stingrays. Those are your Heat 4 athletes. Up next is Heat 5. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 5. That's Lucia from DeForest. Heat 5 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 5. This is the girls 13 and over 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Susanna from The Wave. Lane 2 is Crystal from Woodson. Lane 3 is Audrey from Tosa. Lane 4 is Lily from Rocket. Lane 5 is Cora from Howard Swamico. Lane 6 is Brooke from Howard Swamico. Lane 7 is Ruth from Sheboygan. And in lane 8 is Maris from The Wave. Those are your Heat 5 athletes. Up next is Heat 6. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 1. That's Susanna from the Wave. Heat 6 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 6. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Eva from Green Bay. Lane 2 is Elizabeth from Watertown. Lane 3 is Liana from Howard Swamico. Lane 4 is Emily from Fox Cities. Lane 5 is Zoya from Storm. Lane 6 is Elin from Green Bay. Lane 7 is Kaya from Tosa. And in lane 8 is Claire from the Wave. Those are your heat 6 athletes. Up next is heat 7. Our unofficial heat winner is Claire from the Wave. You made your mom proud. Heat 7 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 7. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Nora from Fox Cities. Lane 2 is Maddie from Wanakee. Lane 3 is Ellen from the Wave. Lane 4 is Adeline from Howard Swamico. Lane 5 is Brooklyn from McFarland. Lane 6 is Lydia from Tosa. Lane 7 is Addison from Howard Swamico. And in lane 8 is Abby from Rocket. Those are your heat 7 athletes. Up next is heat 8. Our unofficial heat winners in lane 4, that's Adeline from Howard Swamico. Heat 8 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 8. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Genevieve from McFarland. Lane 2 is Ainsley from Watertown. Lane 3 is Kiana from Chippewa Valley. Lane 4 is Helen from Verona. Lane 5 is Melina from Verona. Lane 6 is Abby from Northern Lakes. Lane 7 is Elodie from Schwabenon. And in lane 8 is Mazden from Fox Cities. Those are your Heat 8 athletes. Up next is Heat 9. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 4. That's Helen from Verona. Lane heat 9 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 9. We're at the halfway point of the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Megan from Howard Swamico. Lane 2 is Lanai from Tosa. Lane 3 is Ella from Storm. Lane 4 is Josie from Green Bay. Lane 5 is Sammy from Woodson. Lane 6 is Maddie from Ashwaubenon. Lane 7 is Aubrey from Chippewa Valley. And in lane 8 is Molly from Wanakee. Those are your Heat 9 athletes. Up next is Heat 10, and there are a total of 18 heats in event number 41. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 7. That is Aubrey from Chippewa Valley. Heat 10 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 10. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Macy from Wanakee. Lane 2 is Ava from McFarland. Lane 3 is Lauren from Howard Swamico. Lane 4 is Claire from Fox Cities. Lane 5 is Lily from Wanakee. Lane 6 is Reese from Verona. Lane 7 is Marilyn from the Wave. And in lane 8 is Avery from Tosa. These are your Heat 10 athletes. Up next is Heat 11. Our unofficial heat winner is Ava from McFarland in lane 2. Heat 11 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 11. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Lila from Tosa. Lane 2 is Charlotte from the Wave. Lane 3 is Kira from Chippewa Valley. Lane 4 is Violet from Howard Swamico. Lane 5 is Jossie from Fox Cities. Lane 6 is Bailey from Howard Swamico. Lane 7 is Taylor from Woodson. And lane 8 is Maddie from Green Bay. These are your Heat 11 athletes. Up next is Heat 12. And your unofficial heat winner is in lane 4. That is Violet from Howard Swamico. Heat 12 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 12. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Ella from Tosa. Lane 2 is Audrey from McFarland. Lane 3 is Paige from Rocket. Lane 4 is Eliana from Tosa. Lane 5 is Kendall from Rocket. Lane 6 is Peyton from Rocket. Lane 7 is Natalie from Ashwaubenon. And in lane 8 is Claire from Storm. Those are your Heat 12 athletes. Up next is Heat 13. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 8. That was Claire from Storm. Heat 13 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 13. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In the lane 1 is Addie from Howard Swamico. Lane 2 is Julia from Howard Swamico. Lane 3 is Vivian from Howard Swamico. Lane 4 is Jocelyn from Verona. Lane 5 is Daphne from The Wave. Lane 6 is Addie from Rocket. Lane 7 is Leilani from McFarland. And in lane 8 is Jaina from Rocket. Those are your Heat 13 athletes. Up next is Heat 4. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 1. That's Julia from Howard Swamico. Heat 14 is next. In the water is event 41, Heat 14. This is the girls 13 over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Brooklyn from Fox Cities. Lane 2 is Linda from Chippewa Valley. Lane 3 is Liliana from Rocket. Lane 4 is Abby from Howard Swamico. Lane 5 is Bristol from DeForest. Lane 6 is Elizabeth from The Wave. Lane 7 is Maggie from Rocket. And in lane 8 is Lillian from Howard Swamico. Those are your Heat 14 athletes. Up next is Heat 15. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 2. That's Linda from Chippewa Valley. Up next is heat 15. In the water is event 41, heat 15. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Maddie from Storm. Lane 2 is Casey from McFarland. Lane 3 is Kinsley from Rocket. Lane 4 is Sydney from the Wave. Lane 5 is Laney from Fox Cities. Lane 6 is Kayla from Schwabenon. Lane 7 is Celia from Rocket. And in lane 8 is Riley from Northern Lakes. Those are your heat 15 athletes. Up next is heat 16. Our unofficial heat winner was in lane 5. That was Laney from Fox Cities. And now in the water is event 41, heat 16. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Lil from McFarland. In lane 2 is Addie from Watertown. In lane 3 is Kaylee from Howard Swamico. Lane 4 is Emma from Northern Lakes. Lane 5 is Stella from Storm. Lane 6 is Abby from Woodson. And in lane 7 is Autumn from Fox Cities. Those are your heat 16 athletes. Up next is heat 17. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 2. That is Addie from Watertown. Heat 17 is next. In the water is event 41, heat 17. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1, Aaron from the Wave. Lane 2 is Addison from the Wave. Lane 3 is Elin from Chippewa Valley. Lane 4 is Sadie from the Stingrays. Lane 5 is Brooklyn from Woodson. Lane 6 is Raylan from Watertown. Lane 7 is Olivia from the McFarland. And in lane 8 is Greta from Rocket. Those are your heat 17 athletes. Up next is heat 18. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 3. That is Elon from Chippewa Valley. Heat 18 is next. In the waters, event 41, heat 18. This is the girls 13 and over 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Lauren from the Wave. Lane 2 is Ivana from Green Bay Y. Lane 3 is Maddie from the Wave. Lane 4 is Anna from the Wave. Lane 5 is Ireland, unattached. Lane 6 is Hannah from Schrader. Lane 7 is Elise from the Wave. And in lane 8 is Maddie from Rocket. Those are your Heat 18 athletes. Up next is event 42, the boys 13 and over 100-meter backstroke. There are 9 heats in event 42. Our unofficial heat winner was in lane 7, Elise from the Wave. Up next. And up next is event 42, heat 1. This is a boys 13 and over 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1, in lane 2 is Aiden from the Wave. Lane 3 is Ben from Rocket. Lane 4 is Evan from the Wave. Lane 5 is Jimmy from Wanakee. Lane 6 is Ethan, unattached. But I believe he's with the Wave now. And those are your Heat 1 athletes in the boys 13 and over 100-meter backstroke. Up next is Heat 2. And our unofficial heat winner is in lane 6. That's Ethan from the Wave. Congrats, Ethan. You made your parents proud. Heat 2 is next. In the water is event 42, heat 2. This is the boys 13 and over 100-meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Ben from Door County. Lane 2 is Dre from Woodson. Lane 3 is Ryan from Rocket. Lane 4 is Xander from Door County. Lane 5 is Gio from Schrader. Lane 6 is Rock from Schrader. Lane 7 is Eric from Chippewa Valley. And in lane 8 is Eldon from Chippewa Valley. Those are your Heat 2 athletes in the boys 13 and over 100-meter backstroke. Up next is Heat 3. Our unofficial heat winners in lane 4, that's Xander from Door County. Heat 3 is next. In the water is event 42, heat 3. This is the boys 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Thatcher from Schrader. Lane 2 is Daniel from the Stingrays. Lane 3 is James from Rocket. Lane 4 is Sterling from McFarland. Lane 5 is Elwin from Fox Cities. Lane 6 is Rittick from Rocket. Lane 7 is Jacob from Green Bay. And lane 8 is Henry from Stevens Point. Those are your heat 3 athletes. Up next is heat 4. In the water is event 42, heat 4. This is the the boys 13 over 100 meter backstroke. Lane 1 is Henry from DeForest. Lane 3, we have a scratch in lane 2. Lane 3 is Sean from Sheboygan. Lane 4 is Cole from McFarland. Lane 5 is Royce from Watertown. Lane 6 is a scratch. Lane 7 is Kalen for Howard Swamico. And in lane 8 is Edwin for the Wave. Those are your Heat 4 athletes. Up next is Heat 5. And our unofficial heat winners in lane 5, that's Royce from Watertown. Up next is Heat 5. In the water is event 42, heat 5. This is the boys 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Jackson from Rocket. Lane 2 is Nathan from Rocket. Lane 3 is Sasha from Wanakee. Lane 4 is Chase from Northeast. Lane 5 is Jack from Fox Cities. Lane 6 is Jack from Tosa. Lane 7 is Park Seat from Howard Swamico. And in lane 8 is Jacob from DeForest. Those are your Heat 5 athletes. Up next is Heat 6. Our unofficial heat winner is Jack from Fox Cities in lane 5. Heat 6 is next. In the water is event 42, heat 6. This is the boys 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Aiden from Northeast. Lane 2 is Blake from Chippewa Valley. Lane 3 is Charlie from Woodson. Lane 4 is Aaron from Northern Lakes. Lane 5 is Adriel from from Schrader. Lane 6 is Kyler from Watertown. Lane 7 is Ethan from Wave. And lane 8 is Quincy from McFarland. Those are your Heat 6 athletes. Up next is Heat 7. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 6. That is Kyler from Watertown. Heat 7 is next. In the water is the event 42, heat 7. This is the boys 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Noah from the Wave. Lane 2 is Andy from Howard Swamico. Lane 3 is Evan from Green Bay Y. Lane 4 is Bennett from Howard Swamico. Lane 5 is Michael from McFarland. Lane 6 is Ethan from the Stingrays. In lane 7 is Dante from Watertown. In lane 8 is Nolan from Schwabenon. Those are your Heat 7 athletes. Up next is Heat 8, and there's a total of 9 heats in event number 42. In the waters, event 42, heat 8. This is the boys 13 and over 100 meter backstroke. In lane 1 is Gideon from the Wave. Lane 2 is Griffin from Howard Swamico. Lane 3 is Carter from Howard Swamico. Lane 4 is Cash from Chippewa Valley. Lane 5 is Arthur from the Wave. Lane 6 is Ethan from the Wave. Lane 7 is Quincy from the Storm. And lane 8 is Bryce from the Wave. Those are your Heat 8 athletes. Up next is Heat 9, the final heat of event 42. After which our timers will be taking a waddle to the other end of the pool for the 50s. Apologies, some administrative things I had to do. Wasn't able to announce the last heat, but Lion from McFarland was our unofficial heat winner. And now timers are going to switch to the other end of the pool, so we're going to and this is a live shot of the timers moving over to the other end of the pool. And we'll be starting the 50s with event 43, the girls 13 and over 50-meter freestyle. And there'll be 24 heats of that. Now, these are going to be 50s free, and I am not going to be announcing the swimmers in them. It's just going to be too fast because there are some fast times starting here. So I will not be announcing all of them, but I will announce what heat we're in. You can always get the heat sheet up on our website, foxcitiesbirdbath.com. Click on the Bird Baths page and get the heat sheet. There's going to be some fast swimming going on here in these 50s. In the water is event 43, heat 1. This is the girls 13 and over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 2. In the water is event 43, heat 2. This is the girls 13 over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 3. In the water is event 43, heat 3. This is the girls 13 over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 4. In the water is event 43, heat 4. Up next is heat 5. In the water is event 43, heat 5. It's the girls 13 over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 6. In the water is event 43, heat 6. It's the girls 13 over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 7. In the water is event 43, heat 7. This is the girls 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 8. In the water is event 43, heat 8. This is the girls 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 9. In the water is event 43, heat 9. This is the girls 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 10. In the water is event 43, heat 10. This is the girls 13 and over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 11. In the water is event 43, heat 11. Up next, heat 12. In the water is event 43, heat 12. This is a girls 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 13. In the water is event 43, heat 13. This is the girls 13 and over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 14 of a total of 24 heats for event 43. In the water is event 43, heat 13. Heat 14. This is the girls 13 and over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 15. In the water is event 43, heat 15. This is the girls 13 and over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 16. In the water is event 43, heat 16. This is the girls 13 and over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 17. In the water is event 43, heat 17. This is the girls 13 and over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 18. In the water is event 43, heat 18. This is the girls 13 and over 50-meter freestyle. Up next, heat 19. In the water is event 43, heat 19. This is the girls 13 and over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 20. In the water is event 43, heat 20. This is the girls 13 and over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 21. In the water is event 43, heat 21. This is the girls 13 and over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 22. In the water is event 43, heat 22. This is the girls 13 and over 50 meter freestyle. Up next, heat 23. In the water is event 43, heat 23. This is the girls 13 and over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 24, the last and final heat of event 43. In the water is event 43, heat 24. This is the final heat of the girls 13 and over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is event 44. It's a boys' turn for the 13 and over 50 meter freestyle. There are 13 heats for event 44, and no, I will not be announcing all the athletes in those. We got some really fast times in there as well. Not going to go tongue-tied. In the water is event 44, heat 1. This is the boys 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 2. In the water is event 44, heat 2. This is the boys 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 3. In the water is event 44, heat 3. This is the boys 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 4. In the water, it's event 44, heat 4. It's the boys 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 5. Water is event 44, heat 5. This is the boys 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next, heat 6. In the water is event 44, heat 6. This is the boys 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 7. In the water is event 44, heat 7. This is a boys 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 8. In the water is event 44, heat 8. This is a boys 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 9. In the water is event 44, heat 9. This is the boys 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 10. In the water is event 44, heat 10. This is the boys 13 over 50 meter freestyle. Up next is heat 11. In the water is event 44, heat 11. This is the boys 13 and over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 12. In the water is event 44, heat 12. This is the boys 13 and over 50-meter freestyle. Up next is heat 13. In the water is event 44, heat 13. This is the final heat of the boys 13 and over 50-meter freestyle. Up next, our timer is going to be waddling back to the blocks in time for event 45. The girls 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. There are 12 heats in event 45. And now our timers will be walking back. The blocks, and just in time for event 45. In the water is event 45, heat 1. This is a girls 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Lucy from Schrader. Lane 2 is Elena from the Wave. Lane 3 is Ainsley from Watertown. Lane 4 is Crystal from Woodson. Lane 5 is Elena from Schrader. Lane 6 is Taylor from Woodson. And in lane 7 is Sammy from Woodson. Those are your Heat 1 athletes. Up next is Heat 2 of a total of 12 heats for event 45. In the water is event 45, heat 2. This is a girls 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Claire from the Wave. Lane 2, Megan from Door County. Lane 3 is a scratch. Lane 4 is Jaina from Rocket. Lane 5 is Edie from the Wave. Lane 6 is Calais from Schrader. Lane 7 is Helen from Verona. And in lane 8 is Lily from Wanakee. Those are your Heat 2 athletes. In the girls 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. Up next is Heat 3. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 1. That's Claire from the Wave. In the water is event 45, heat 3. This is the girls 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Morgan from the Wave. Lane 2 is Daphne from the Wave. Lane 3 is Cora from Howard Swamico. Lane 4 is Freddie from Tosa. Lane 5 is Katie from McFarland. Lane 6 is Evie from Schwabenon. Lane 7 is Julia from Howard Swamico. And in lane 8 is Susanna from the Wave. Those are your Heat 3 athletes. Up next is Heat 4. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 7. That is Julia from Howard Swamico in lane 7. Heat 5 is next. In the water is Event 45, Heat 5. This is a girls 13 and over 100 meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Riley from Fox Cities. Lane 2 is Lucy from Wanakee. Lane 3 is Liana from Howard Swamico. Lane 4 is Lily from Rocket. Lane 5 is Gwen from Door County. Lane 6 is Avery from DeForest. Lane 7 is Catherine from Watertown. And then lane 8 is Maddie from Henniger. I'm sorry, that's Maddie from Wanakee. Those are your Heat 5 athletes. Up next is Heat 6. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 1. That's Hayden from Howard Swamico. In the water, it's Event 45, Heat 6. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter butterfly. In lane 1, Sophia from McFarland. Lane 2 is Kaylee from Northeast. Lane 3 is Maya from Schrader. Lane 4 is Morgan from Fox Cities. I'm sorry, I am off one heat. My apologies. It's Heat 5. No, I believe we're off on the live stream here. Hold, please. Apologies, I'm off by one heat. This is Heat 5 now in the water. Lane 1 is Riley from Fox Cities. Lane 2 is Lucy from Wanakee. Lane 3 is Liana from Howard Swamico. Lane 4 is Lily from Rocket. Lane 5 is Gwen from Door County. Lane 6 is Avery from DeForest. Lane 7 is Catherine from Watertown. And in Lane 8 is Maddie from Wanakee. Those are your Heat 5 athletes. Up next is Heat 6. I apologize for being off a heat. And our unofficial heat winner is in lane 1. That was Lily from Rocket in lane 4. In the water now is Event 45, Heat 6. This is the girls 13 over 100 meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Sophia from McFarland. Lane 2 is Kaylee from Northeast. Lane 3 is Maya from Schrader. Lane 4 is Morgan from Fox Cities. Lane 5 is Sophie from Northern Lakes. Lane 6 is Kiki from Verona. Lane 7 is Kiana from Chippewa Valley. And in lane 8 is Ella from Storm. Those are your Heat 6 athletes. Up next is Heat 7. Our unofficial Heat winner was in lane 3. That was Maya from Schrader. Heat 7 is next. In the water is event 45, Heat 7. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Zoya from Storm. Lane 2 is Annika from Storm. Lane 3 is Greta from Rocket. Lane 4 is Gwen from Green Bay Y. Lane 5 is Ainsley from Ashwaubenon. Lane 6 is Kira from Chippewa Valley. Lane 7 is Linda from Chippewa Valley. And in lane 8 is Carly from Howard Swamico. Those are your Heat 7 athletes. Up next is Heat 8. In the water is event 45, Heat 8. This is the girls 13 and over 100 meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Avery from Fox Cities. Lane 2 is Clara from Wanakee. Lane 3 is Afton from the Wave. Lane 4 is Emma from DeForest. Lane 5 is Peyton from Schrader. Lane 6 is Daphne from the Wave. Lane 7 is Delaney from Chippewa Valley. And in lane 8 is Kira from Howard Swamico. Those are your Heat 8 athletes. Up next is Heat 9. Our unofficial Heat winner is in lane 4. That's Emma from DeForest. Heat 9 is next. In the water is event 45, Heat 9. This is The girls 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Dahlia from Door County. Lane 2 is Megan from Howard Swamico. Lane 3 is Sydney from the Wave. Lane 4 is Elena from Tosa. Lane 5 is Claire from Storm. Lane 6 is Brenna from DeForest. Lane 7 is Grace from Schrader. And in lane 8 is Celia from Rocket. Those are your Heat 9 athletes. Up next is Heat 10. And our unofficial heat winner is in lane 1. That is Dahlia from Door County. Heat 10 is next. In the water is event 43, heat 10. This is the girls 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Autumn from Fox Cities. Lane 2 is Elizabeth from the Wave. Lane 3 is Hadley from Verona. Lane 4 is Lucy from Chippewa Valley. Lane 5 is Kirsten. My apologies. Kirsten from the Wave. Lane 6 is Maddie's from the Storm. Lane 7 is Claire from Stevens Point. And lane 8 is Abby from Rocket. Those all are your Heat 10 athletes in event 45. Heat 10, up next is Heat 11. And there are 12 heats in this event 45. Our final event will be event 46, the boys 13 and over 100-meter butterfly, 7 heats. And then we're done for the day. It's been a long day. Some good swimming. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 7. That's Claire from Stevens Point. And now in the water is event 45, heat 11. This is the girls 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Grace from Woodson. Lane 2 is Olivia from McFarland. Lane 3 is Lauren from the Wave. Lane 4 is Margaret from Schrader. Lane 5 is Isabella from Fox Cities. Lane 6 is Sydney from the Wave. Lane 7 is Layla from Howard Swamico. And in lane 8 is Bailey from Howard Swamico. Those are your Heat 11 athletes. Up next is Heat 12, the final heat of event 45. And our unofficial heat winner is in lane 4. That's Margaret from Schrader. In the water is event 45, heat 12. This is the final heat of the girls 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Sadie from the Stingrays. Lane 2 is Stella from the Storm. Lane 3 is Anna from Woodson. Lane 4 is Carly from the Wave. Lane 5 is Ivana from Green Bay Y. Lane 6 is Riley from Northern Lakes. Lane 7 is Maddie from Rocket. And in lane 8 is Emma from Northern Lakes. Those are your Heat 12 athletes. Up next is event 46, the boys 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. There are 7 heats in event 46, and event 46 is our last event of the afternoon session and day 2 of the 26th Bird Bath Invitational. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 4. That's Carly from the Wave. In the water is event 46, heat 1. This is the boys 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Edwin from the Wave. Lane 2, Ryan from Rocket. Lane 3, Kellen from the Wave. Lane 4, Henry from Stevens Point. Lane 5 is Smith from the Wave. Lane 6 is Dante from Watertown. Lane 7 is Evan from the Wave. And in lane 8 is Eldon from Chippewa Valley. Those are your Heat 1 athletes in event 46. The boys 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. Up next is Heat 2 of a total of 7 heats for event 46, the final event of the afternoon session and day 2 of the Bird Bath. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 5. That's Smith from the Wave. Heat 2 is next. In the water is event 46, heat 2. This is the boys 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Spencer from Schrader. Lane 2 is Ethan from the Stingrays. Lane 3 is Sterling from McFarland. Lane 4 is Tristan from Toso. Lane 5 is Reese from Door County. Lane 6 is Kaylin from Howard Swamico. Lane 7 is Zeph from Schrader. And in lane 8 is Evan from Green Bay Y. Those are your Heat 2 athletes. Up next is Heat 3. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 7. That's Zeph from Schrader. Heat 3 is next. In the water is event 46, heat 3. This is the boys 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Ethan from the Wave. Lane 2 is Sasha from Wanakee. Lane 3 is Kyler from Watertown. Lane 4 is Josiah from Fox Cities. Lane 5 is Chase from Northeast. Lane 6 is Hans from McFarland. Lane 7 is Jackson from Rocket. And in lane 8 is Joel from the Wave. Those are your Heat 3 athletes. Up next is Heat 4. Our unofficial heat winner is Hans from McFarland in lane 6. Heat 4 is next. In the water is event 46, heat 4. This is the boys 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Ethan from the Wave. Lane 2 is Nolan from Schwabenon. Lane 3 is Metz from the Wave. Lane 4 is Dominic from Fox Cities. Lane 5 is Aaron from Northern Lakes. Lane 6 is Abel from Woodson. Lane 7 is Raiden from Howard Swamico. And in lane 8 is Dragomir from Tosa. Those are your Heat 4 athletes. Up next is Heat 5 of a total of 7 heats in event 46, the last event of this session and day 2. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 1. That's Ethan from the Wave. In the water is event 46, heat 5. This is the boys 13 and over 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Ben from McFarland. In lane 2 is Caleb from McFarland. Lane 3 is Landon from Stevens Point. Lane 4 is Michael from McFarland. Lane 5 is Grant from the Storm. Lane 6 is Abram from the Wave. Lane 7 is Nick from McFarland, and in lane 8 is Arthur from the Wave. Those are your Heat 5 athletes. Up next is Heat 6. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 1. That's Ben from McFarland. Lane 6 is Heat 6 is next. In the water is event 46, heat 6. This is the boys 13 and over 100 meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Jonathan from Tosa. Lane 2 is Gideon from the Wave. Lane 3 is Ryan from Fox Cities. Lane 4 is Jackson from McFarland. Lane 5 is Ryland from Green Bay. Lane 6 is Jude from McFarland. Lane 7 is Cash from Chippewa Valley. And in lane 8 is Quincy from the Storm. Those are your heat 6. Those are your Heat 6 athletes. Up next is Heat 7, the final heat of Event 46 and Day 2. In the water is Event 46, Heat 7. This is the boys 13 and over 100 meter butterfly. In lane 1 is Cash from the Wave. In lane 2 is Ethan from the Wave. Lane 3 is Nolan from Rocket. Lane 4 is Kale from McFarland. Lane 5 is Carter from Howard Swamico. Lane 6 is Spencer from the Wave. Lane 7 is Logan from the Wave. And lane 8 is Bennett from Howard Swamico. Those are your Heat 7 athletes. That's it. Our unofficial heat winner is in lane 1. That's Kale from McFarland. And folks, that's it. It's been a long day. It's been some great swimming, and we are done for tonight. We'll be back here tomorrow morning. Thank you for watching. Good night.